Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Springfield City Hall. Today is Monday, February 10th. The time is 6:42. We have a few folks signed up for public speak out this evening. And before we start our regular meeting at 7 p.m., we are going to offer those folks an opportunity to address the council. So I see we don't have too many people here in person tonight, so it might be a brief attempt at public speak out, but we will call on everybody. If they're not here when I call your name the first time, I will return and try one final call before moving on. Okay, so our first speaker tonight is George Johnson. Is Mr. Johnson here this evening? Okay, I don't see Mr. Johnson here in person or online, so we're going to skip Mr. Johnson for a second. Next, we have Ruth Morehouse. Mrs. Morehouse here this evening? I do not see Ruth here in person or online, so we'll come back to you, Ruth. We also have first name Greg, no last name provided, wishing to speak on clean energy. Is there a Greg here wishing to speak on clean energy? Okay, seeing no Greg in person or online, we'll move on to the next. Next we have Natasha, sorry that I can't read this penmanship, but it looks like Klegger. Is Natasha here to speak this evening regarding court enforcement and justice? Okay, one last call for Natasha, online or in person. Okay, and finally we have, Susan, what was her first name? Is it Melhive? Melvie? Oh, Melvie Green. It's Melvie Green here this evening to speak about Radnor Street. Melvie Green. Oh, middle. You said middle?
Biddle, B-I-D-D-L-E.
Biddle. Okay.
But there, I brought the plan so that you could see what it looks like.
Thank you, Ms. Green.
They want to...
You have the floor. We give everybody 3 minutes. We did receive the materials that you sent to the council office, so thank you for that, and you have the floor.
Okay. I bought my home in 2006, 82 Biddle Street. I've cared for the paper street that is Radnor Street, you're correct. I received a notice asking for permission for Eversource to erect 2 40-foot utility poles to supply power to the Crossings project, and I'm strongly opposed to that. And the reason being is I have cared for that land for 19 years. I cleaned up the brush, the little treelings. I planted grass. I've been mowing the grass. I rake the leaves. And even if they do go through with their plans, who's going to take care of the property then? It needs to be kept up. It's a lot. It's a paper street, and it needs to be taken care of.
Thank you, Ms. Green. Do you have a copy of the notice that you received from Eversource with you by any chance?
Yes.
Would you mind saving it, and then when we finish public speak out, I think some of the councilors here will have a few minutes to chat with you about that, if you don't mind taking a seat and waiting.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go back through the list one more time. Is Greg here to speak on clean energy? Last call for Greg. Okay, no Greg. George Johnson. Is George Johnson here wishing to speak? Okay, George. Last call. Ruth Morehouse. Ms. Morehouse, do not see Ms. Morehouse. And last call for Natasha Klegger. Natasha. Okay. Seeing none, that'll close the public speak out. And Ms. Green, if you wouldn't mind bringing those documents forward, we'd be happy to review those with you for a couple minutes. Okay, that will conclude our public speak out. Council will meet in full session at 7 p.m.